Live from Dayton, Ohio, and Welcome Stadium. It's time for the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Tonight it's the Ponitz Golden Panthers taking on the Thurgood Marshall Cougars. Doug Brown along with Andre Johnson Jr. and Bennett Wise on the sidelines. And Andre, you're up here for the first time filling in for the coach.
Yeah, Doug, you know, I typically hang out on the sidelines, but this time I said let me pass it to Bennett, and I'm going to hang out with you up here.
Okay, that's great. Talk about the game. What do you expect out of this one?
Well, Doug, these two teams have a lot in common, but at the top of that list is their physical style of play. Forget those complex schemes, the prolific passing attacks. You're going to see a lot of old-school 4 yards and a cloud of dust football tonight. It's going to really come down to what team can win the line of scrimmage and dominate their opponent both physically and mentally, Doug.
We're going to send it down to the sidelines, and Bennett Wise, welcome to Thursday Night Lights here.
Well, Doug, it's good to be here. And Andre, you mentioned the similarity between these two teams. I talked to Darrell Wilson for the opponent's Golden Panthers, and he said every single week has been a process, and there's been a lot of growth over the last 4 weeks, which he says has been preparing them for this first City League game. They already have one win here at Welcome Stadium, trying to make it 2 here tonight. And then for the Thurgood Marshall Cougars, Coach Goodwine was saying how every week this team has evolved into a new unit, and they're really starting to focus on the details and the grind of football day in and day out. And he said the team is learning to respect the game that much more by putting more into the preparation each and every week. Now we'll send it back to our Dayton 24/7 Now studios, where Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters has our game night forecast.
Another beautiful evening for Thursday Night Lights. Temperatures, they're going to be on the warm side to start off. At kickoff, we'll be in the mid to upper 70s. Sunset this evening's at 7:43 p.m. We'll see lots of sunshine. Once the sun starts to set, temperatures begin to fall. We'll drop down into the 60s, but overall pretty comfortable weather for football games this evening with temperatures in the 70s and 60s.
Thank you, Natalie. Good shot of Dayton, Ohio. We'll be back with the coin toss and the opening kickoff right after this timeout. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers.
Okay, you guys are the visiting team. You want heads or tails? Say it loud enough so he can hear it. Heads. What'd he say? Said heads. This is Sergeant First Class Seth Charlton. I'm going to have him flip the coin for tonight's game. That's heads, and that's tails. Okay, he's going to flip it. You called heads, right? Okay, flip it up and let it hit the ground, Sergeant. It is heads. You win the toss. You want the ball or defer? You want the ball. What goal you want to defend? Okay, you step over here. You step over here. Ponitz wins the toss and will receive. Shake hands, guys. Good luck.
So the Panthers, they win the toss. They will receive. Usually you see teams defer to the second half. The opponents, they want the ball now.
They're confident, Doug. They really want to set the tone of this game early, and that's one of the keys, especially for Thurgood Marshall. They want to establish that running game early. We talked to their quarterback earlier this week, Edward Quesada. He said they love to run the ball, but running the ball opens up the pass for him. And then their head coach told them that they want to play mistake-free football. The team that wins this game, they're going to be the ones with the least penalty yards, the least mental mistakes. And that's what Thurgood Marshall wants to do. Now, Doug, on the opponent's side, you got two physical teams here. They want to be physical, and they really want to dominate that line of scrimmage and win this game mentally and physically, Doug.
This is the league opener for both teams. Ponitz comes in at 1-3. They won last week over North College Hill 19-0. And Thurgood Marshall comes in at 0-4. They only average 3.5 points a game. That's not a lot.
That's not a lot at all, Doug. But the silver lining is that Thurgood Marshall says that all of those games are out of the City League. They're focused on the in-league games. And so far, this is their first one. They say that those 4 losses taught them a lot of lessons, and they're ready to show opponents what they learned.
Javante Barnes and the Allen Graves back deep for the Golden Panthers, dressed in their white jerseys with blue pants, gold trim around the numbers.
Nice color combination right there, Doug.
Yeah. And the Thurgood Marshall Cougars in their black jerseys with purple numbers and gold trim. Now here's the thing. these two teams, they were not part of the original group. Thurgood is a cast-off of Colonel White.
Okay.
Ponitz is a cast-off of Patterson because Patterson was a co-op school, just like Ponitz is. So here we go. The kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte. So 12 minutes on the clock. The fans are here. The players are here. The coaches are here. Referees are here. We're here. So sit back and enjoy tonight's game between the Panthers and the Cougars. Ball coming down, and it's going to take a hop. And Barnes has it for Ponitz. He's to the 20, gets a little running room. To the 25, still on his feet. He gets all the way up to the 38-yard line of the Panthers, and that's going to be good. That's going to be good field position for the Panthers.
Oh yeah, Doug. That's how you start a game. You don't want to start at the 15, at the 20, at the 10. If you're going to bring that thing back, you want to get some real yardage.
Starting lineup brought to you by Carroll Works Tire. That's a big line.
That's a big way to start the game. And now, Doug, we talked about, you see number 3 right there, Storm White. He's leading this team in rushing yards, and Storm is going to be a big key to establishing that run early like we talked about.
Tavion Waterhouse is also going to be a threat, too. They're in the backfield in the I formation. McCombs underneath center. Handoff. Or no. Pass coming down, going over to Ray, and did he catch it?
Looked out of bounds.
Just missed it.
Man, hey, they wanted to start the game with a bang, Doug. We talked to Coach Darrell Wilson before this game, and he told us he's got a young quarterback with a live arm that he's not afraid to let that thing fly. And
here's the starters for the Thurgood Marshall Cougars, brought to you by Carroll Works Tire Company. That's just right up Patterson here.
The biggest player for Thurgood Marshall on defense, Doug, it's going to be their biggest player on offense, Edward Quesada. He is their linebacker. He also plays slot receiver, fullback, quarterback. I'll tell you a little more after this play.
That was getting the ball with Storm White, and he was stood up at the line of scrimmage. That'll be third down and 10 from the 37-yard line of opponents.
And Doug, about Edward Quesada, just talking to his coach, he says, Edward, when it comes to that defense, he's really a coach on the field. He plays quarterback and he plays middle linebacker, which people really say is the quarterback of the defense. And to be able to play both of those positions, it takes a big football IQ. And that guy right there, head coach Julian Goodwine, he's got faith in his defensive leader.
There McCombs coming back to pass, and he tried to hit it Ray once again and could not do it. So it's going to be fourth down for the Cougars, or for the Panthers, I should say. Golden Panthers.
Ponitz passing a little bit more earlier than we expected them to, Doug.
Yeah, really.
Open the game with that 40-yard shot. Here we're going for 20, 25 yards on that one. They're not afraid to let their young quarterback shine today.
Quesada back deep for the Cougars, along with Ronald Smith.
I told you, Quesada, he does everything. Quarterback, linebacker, fullback, slot receiver, and punt returner.
I don't think he ever gets off the field.
Nah, that's what they say.
High snap, and going after it is Cardoso, and he's brought down, and Thurgood Marshall is going to be in great field position for there in this first quarter. There's the Toyota replay.
Right off his fingertips. And in that situation, as a punter, there's really nothing you can do. You'd love to see him at least try to get some kind of kickoff, but that Thurgood defense swarmed.
So it'll be first and 10 for the Cougars at the Golden Panther 15-yard line. 10:50. Here's the starting lineups for the Thurgood Marshall Cougars offense.
And look at those big boys on that offensive line, Doug. They said the same thing as Ponitz. They want to be physical. They want to establish the run early. And being physical, Doug, we all know that starts in the trenches. And when you've got big boys like that up front,
yeah,
you're in a good position to run the ball.
Here's a handoff. Woo. Still on his feet is Desmond Johnson. Johnson's going to be pulled down back at the 30-yard line by Storm White and Kyron Odom. Here's the defensive starters for the Golden Panthers, brought to you by Carol Wirtz.
And Doug, the player to watch here is Talion Waterhouse. Talion is the defensive captain over there, and he is a guy who is known for his ability to rush the quarterback. He says his favorite defensive players are T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh, Khalil Mack in Chicago. He loves the way that they use their hands to get past the offensive linemen and make plays. And we're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Quarterback keeper, and he stopped at the 25 by Talion Waterhouse. So it'll be 3rd down and 20.
Ooh, an early 3rd and long situation here for Thurgood Marshall. They talked about the ability to pass once the run opens up. They haven't been able to establish the run early on. They lost 10 yards in 2 plays, so we're going to see what that quarterback's got in him.
So Shantez Gaines is the quarterback. 2 receivers to the far side, 3 to the bottom of the screen. They're going to throw it over here to the near side, and not going anywhere is Ronald Smith. So it's going to be 4th down. We're going to put your coaching hat on. What do you do? What do you do?
On 4th and long, it depends how much faith I have in my field goal kicker. If I think my kicker can make this kick, I'm going to try to take the points. If not,
here's a Toyota replay.
Look, I'm going for it, honestly. If my field goal kicker can't make it, I'm going to take a deep shot, and I'm going to trust my big receivers to make a play. Because when you look at these teams, Thurgood has the size advantage. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
So once again, Gaines going back to pass, firing downfield, and it is over the head of the intended receiver.
Almost hit our cameraman down there. Tomas, stay safe, man.
Well, you're safer up here than you are down there.
Yeah, you know, when I'm down there, I always have 16-year-olds running at me, footballs all over the place. The cheerleaders, they can kick really high. Sometimes you walk too close to them, they might kick you, so it's really safer up here. I told Bennett to keep his head on a swivel down there, though.
Yeah, he's got to do that. 8:36 to go here in this first quarter. Ponitz holds, still no score.
Hey, Doug, you know, a team, offense, and defense, sometimes as a defense, you got to put the offense on your back. The special teams unit left opponents in a very tough position, backed up against the end zone on the 13-yard line, and that defense showed up, got the turnover on downs, and now their offense has a chance.
McComb hands to White. White will get up to the 38-yard line. Pickup of about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Storm White, that is the team's leading rusher, Doug. He is a smart guy. He's got a 4.3 GPA, and I asked him before the game, it's the hardest question we asked, what is an interesting fact about you that people don't realize? And he said, honestly, a lot of people don't realize that I'm this smart, you know. 4.3 GPA, he's one of the best players on the team. He excels in the classroom and also on the field, and you're going to see that tonight.
McComb underneath center. He's going to hand off this time. Going to go to Johnson. So he's got the first down and more. That first down brought to you by Arby's. We have the meats. You like that, don't you?
I love it.
I can't get as low as James Earl Jones, but you know.
We'll work on it, Doug. We'll work on it.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on it.
Practice in the mirror a few times, and you'll be good.
No,
by
I don't
next
look
week.
in the mirror. I crack it. Hey, you got a face for radio, right? Handoff goes to White. White gets up to the 48-yard line.
Now they're really starting to break that defense open. You know, 3-yard run there, but he had 4 or 5 yards to carry before that. You saw Tim Vaught pick up the first down, and that's what Ponitz wants to do. They don't need the big chunk plays. They want to slow it down, keep it simple, methodically work their way up the field, Doug.
And keep the clock running and ball control.
There's head coach Darrell Wilson right there. He told us he's an old school guy. He wants to tighten those shoulder pads up and win it in that old school 4 yards, cloud of dust football. You see that wing tee set right there?
Handoff goes to Vaught. Vaught
Hey.
Close to the first down. I think he's got it into Thurgood territory. And they're going to mark it as a first down. So another first down for the Panthers, brought to you by Arby's.
And you know, Doug, they always tell running backs, keep your feet moving. You want to run through that contact, and that's how he got the first down there. He got stopped. He had about 4 or 5 guys on him, but he kept chugging, churning those feet, and he fought for an extra 3 and 4 yards, and that's what made the big difference when it came to picking up that first down.
I think he's feeling it, too.
He earned that sip of water right there.
Yeah.
Good job, young man.
It's like Waterhouse and White. White will get the ball going over to the right side. He's got some running room. He's got the first down and more down to the 32-yard line. That's going to be another first down for the Panthers. That's another Arby's first down.
Yeah, they've got the meats right now, Doug. They've got the meats. Storm White.
Here's the replay brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers.
Good misdirection before the snap. You saw that defense. Their first step was to the right. Storm comes around. He beats them all to the left.
Yeah, if you notice, I don't know if you've been down here before, but it's unusual the way they turn the lights on here. The far side on the left turns on. That's first. Then they go over here to the near side. And then they switch back and forth. Pretty cool.
I've only been here for a couple of Dayton games, but I'm typically on the field. This is my first time up here. I don't get to notice stuff like the lights.
Waterhouse on the carry.
Lights out performance by the defense on that play.
Pick up a 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8. Clock running with 5:42 left in this first quarter.
And Thurgood's coach, Adrian Goodwine, he told us, Doug, this game might end at 9:30. He was joking with us before the game. He said, expect this clock to keep running. They want to control that time of possession, and that's the biggest advantage to running the ball. You want to keep the ball out of your opponent's hands, keep it in your hands, have those long 15-play, 9-minute drives.
Ray and Warner to the top of the screen.
Getting in the shotgun set now.
Man coming in motion. He's going to get the ball, and that is Ray. Ray coming around his side. He's got some running room. He's to the 15, down to the 10. He is. Was he out of bounds? Was he out of bounds?
Oh, man.
Was he out of bounds before he dropped the ball, though?
It looks like they're saying he was out. That's a close one.
We're going to have to see the replay on that. They're talking about it.
He looked into me, but, I don't have as close of a view as those guys in stripes.
That's true. They're going to say touchdown?
The way Thurgood's celebrating, it looks like they're going to say he was short.
The ball hit the pylon, therefore it's a touchback.
Oh,
boy.
Man, that is a momentum killer.
Yeah, that is a huge break for the Cougars.
Wow.
Not a touchdown. Not a touchdown.
Wow, that sucks, Doug.
Here's the replay on it.
Yeah, we got to see this one up close.
Here's Ray. Bust past a couple of players. Breaks the tackle, and his foot was out of bounds.
Oh, never hit the pylon either.
And a Cougar picked it up too.
No, they missed out on it.
Yes, that's right.
He recovered it in bounds.
Yeah, that was
the ball never
Warner
hit the pylon.
That was Warner that got the recovery. But they don't have replay in high school until they get to the state finals.
Well, we've got to at least credit the defensive effort there, Doug.
Oh, yeah.
They never give up on the play. He got the hit on if he didn't get that last hit to save that touchdown, that was an easy 6 points. But not only did he get the hit, he was able to strip the ball out. And we can argue about whether or not it hit the pylon, who recovered it. But at the end of the day, they saved 6 points on that scoreboard because that safety hustled to the ball.
Quesada had the ball. He picks up 5. Second and 5 at the 25-yard line.
Big switch for Ponitz at quarterback. Last time it was Shantez Gaines.
Quesada will keep it once again. He's got the first down.
And expect to see a lot of plays like that from Edward Quesada today. He told us that the reason he loves football, the reason this is his favorite sport, is because he gets to hit people, Doug. He loves contact. He said, basketball's cool too, but if I hit people in basketball, it's a foul. Yeah. Out here, I can lower my shoulder. Don't expect him to slide or run out of bounds or anything like that. It's the contact that keeps him involved and gets the people going, so to speak.
First down brought to you by Arby's. Once we get back in at quarterback is Gaines with Quesada right behind him. Wing T.
A jack of all trades, Doug.
That's right. Pitch back.
Defense all
goes
over.
To Weaver. Weaver's going to get up to the 30. Take that back. That's number 11, Kevin Sims, on the carry.
You know, Doug, they always say football is a game of momentum, and after the kind of defensive play that they just had, a strip on the 1 yard line, touchback, you get the ball on the 20 instead of getting it at the 1. That's a big momentum swinger, and you've got to capitalize on that if you're Thurgood Marshall.
2nd and 12. Loss of 2. Quesada behind Gaines. Gaines coming over to near side, pitches back over to Quesada. Quesada's going to pick up a couple of yards, but a penalty marker comes flying in.
Ooh, those yellow flags.
Yeah, those are, that's usually
nothing brings you down like a yellow flag.
That's usually the area of holding. See what the official has to say on this.
Holding.
Yep.
Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
Doug, with the future telling around here. I see you.
Huh?
So you told the future there.
Yeah, but don't ask me about a lottery or...
oh, man, well, that's what I was going to do during the break.
Here's the replay. And the hold is... Says on 6. Okay. Yeah, I saw it now. It was the top of the screen. So there we go. Once again, the Gaines in the shotgun, and timeout called with 2:44 to go. No score. We're gonna take a break. Be right back. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Back here at Welcome Stadium, 2:43 remaining here in this first quarter. Thurgood Marshall has it. Gaines in the shotgun. 4 receivers up to the top of the screen. They fire over to the left side. And that is Quesada. Is that Quesada?
Yep, that's him.
Quesada,
that's our guy.
Right up to the 20-yard line. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and 23.
Good quick decision, though, by Shantez Gaines. That pressure was coming. The defensive end got through untouched. And when that happens, Doug, sometimes you just got to chalk it up. Check down to your receiver. Leave it up to him to make a play. Because that sack, losing that 4 to 6 yards, that'll hurt.
Yeah, it looks like Quesada's coming off.
Yeah, limping off. Speaking of hurts, that's not good. Like we said, he's a Swiss Army knife, a man of many trades for Thurgood, and not having him around, their quarterback and their linebacker, the leader of that defense, that's going to hurt this team, Doug.
So, into the game for Quesada. Looks like it's number 22 in Christopher Coleman. He will be behind Gaines, and penalty marker down, and a delay of game.
Oh, man.
Penalty's going to be called.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You think that was caused by Quesada coming out? Maybe
I think so.
Lead guy, their captain coming out, the guy who Quesada told us before the game that typically going into that huddle, he asked everybody, hey, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? You know what route you're running, the way you're blocking. He is the guy who really brings them together to make sure that they're on one page, one accord, and when you take that clog out, it can cause a little bit of confusion.
So once again, back in the backfield is Christopher Coleman. Pass over to the near side. It comes to Smith. Smith up to the 25, to the 27-yard line. Brought down by Waterhouse. I'm going to toss down to Bennett for the first time tonight. Bennett, what you got?
Well, Doug and Andre, you've been talking about the size of Thurgood Marshall all night, and it's actually kind of a funny story how they got all this size. Coach Goodwine basically ran around the campus of Thurgood Marshall and said, all right, you're a big guy, you know, you want to come play football, and that's how he got a lot of this size, and that was really kind of the game plan coming in, is to be physical in all aspects of this game, and we got one kind of coming down here in the trenches.
Yeah, we saw big number 74 right behind you, and that is Kawan Randall. He was 6'1", or 6'5", 315.
That's got to be quite the job for Coach Goodwine. Walking around, yeah, that guy looks big. That guy looks big. Yeah, he could play lineman for me. Let me go talk to him.
Penalty marker flies.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Number 4. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
You know, Doug, we mentioned it before the game. It was actually one of our keys to the game, playing mistake-free football. And over the last few minutes, we've had a lot of penalties for Thurgood Marshall. The Cougars said that whoever has the least amount of penalties, whoever, as Coach said, doesn't play in the error of the game, that's who's going to win it. And these guys are really going to have to clean things up going into this next quarter.
White back deep. Nice kick coming down. A fair catch caught. And it's going to be dropped at the down at the 46-yard line. We're going to take a break. Be right back after this. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Tonight, after the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers, watch Dayton 24/7 Now News at 10 on Fox 45 and get connected.
That's my guy. That's Adam. Adam Arrow. Megan O'Rourke. You got to watch them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hey, you're going to be on, aren't you?
Yeah, you know, you got Bennett down there. He'll be there.
Okay.
I'm on every night except for Mondays and Tuesdays. You know, that's not really me right now.
There's another penalty marker down. There was a holding call before that, before the timeout, before we went to a break. There was a holding call. It went up 10 yards. It was now 4th and 10. And now another penalty marker comes down. And it could be against Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, Doug, these refs are really going to have to ice their arms after this one. They are throwing them flags a lot in the first quarter.
2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. False start offense. Number 4, illegal substitution, 12 men on the field on the defense. Those will offset 4th down.
So it'll stay 4th and 10 for the Cougars. Storm White standing back at about his 40-yard line.
You know, Doug, Thurgood Marshall before this game, they told us that they did expect their team to be a little camera shy today. You know, maybe make a few mistakes early in this game, but they did say they'd adjust, get it together, and maybe that could be the cause of some of these early penalties.
Good punt by Quesada. It's down at the 27-yard line, and that's where the Golden Panthers will take over, 1st and 10.
So far, the biggest play of this game is still that strip, that fumble down at the 1-yard line. Once again, you can argue whether it should have been a touchback or not, whether it hit the pylon or not, but at the end of the day, it saved the touchdown. It kept this score even at 0-0, and it's keeping Thurgood in the game because this is going to be a grinded-out physical game, and it could very well be a low-scoring affair where every point matters. So keeping 6 off the board, that's huge for Thurgood.
First and 10, ball resting at the 32-yard line, or the 27-yard line. There's a handoff going to White. White's got gets up, busts up the right side, gets up to the 35-yard line. It's going to be second down and 2, and a whistle comes down. The whistle's blown. Have to see what the official says. If there was one, I don't see a penalty marker down. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play. No score, low scoring front. So we're going to take a break. Be back with the second quarter. You're watching the Thursday night, or Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Watch Dateline tonight, right after the game on MyTV Dayton. There was timeout on the field as both teams were out there and they were ready to go. And we weren't back from break yet. So, but we noticed that on the far side at the very top, we had a picture of them early on the break.
Yes.
The Belmont Bison, some of the Bison sitting up there at the very top of the stadium on the far side.
Yeah, Doug, they're wearing their jerseys and everything. They look like they just got back from practice, and they're getting some early scouting in on some of these City League teams. They want to see what they're going to be working with over the next few weeks.
Handoff going to Vaught. Vaught's going to get up to the 35.
And that's one of the things that there they go right there. Yeah, the Belmont Bisons at the very top of the stands. Dude, they don't. I don't know how impressed they look right now, Doug.
I don't know. They're 0-2. They've had a couple of games get canceled due to COVID.
Right. So it's just good to see them in uniform and being able to play. And like you said, they're 0-2. So you got to be looking up at opponents who is 1-3 so far.
There's a handoff to White. White left side. We've got a little bit of running room up to the 44-yard line.
There goes Storm White again, and talking to Coach Daryl Wilson before the game, he says Storm has that quiet confidence. he may be one of the smallest guys on the team, but he might be the strongest pound for pound. And you saw that when he dragged a couple of guys to that first down just now.
That first down brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's another Aristocrat Products first down. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball resting at the 44-yard line of Ponitz.
I'm feeling a big shot coming from Dreyon McComb soon. They mentioned that he has a live arm, and he's not afraid to use it.
Handoff going to Vaught. Vaught gets up. He's still on the move. He keeps his feet going. He's brought down by a whole bunch of Cougars at the 47-yard line, make it the 48.
It's like a thunder and lightning pairing between him and Storm White. No pun, well, slight pun intended. I'm not going to lie to you, Doug.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You're used to being down on the field. So you're full of puns down there.
Yeah, he's the big guy, Tim Vaught, the 230-pound senior, and he's just a physical guy. You know, when he makes first contact, you're going to need about 2, 3, 4 guys to bring him down because he's going to keep those legs churning. And then you've got Storm White, and he's bringing the lightning. He's quick, he's fast, and like I told you a few minutes ago, Doug, he's deceptively strong. Don't let that small frame fool you.
Vaught, Waterhouse, and Anton Jackson.
There it is.
Here's McComb. He's going to be brought down at the 41-yard line. Let's see who that is. That's number 15, and Sincere Anderbon.
Well, Doug, I told you, I felt it coming. A Dreyon McComb shot. He did the play action. He was looking deep, but unfortunately, it looks like Thurgood hurt us. They knew it was coming.
That replay brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers.
Sincere, that's quite a name. He looks a little bigger than 135, though.
Yeah.
He might have put on some weight since they took that last measure. No, that guy's not 135.
No. Ponitz calls timeout. We're going to take a break, too. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. No score between Ponitz and Thurgood Marshall. Attention high school administrators, football coaches, and boosters. If you want your school to be a part of the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by Cincinnati Toyota dealers next year, let us know. Send us an email at comments@Dayton247now.com.
Oh, there's that shot I was telling you about, Doug.
And it's a jump ball. Who's got it?
Oh.
It's intercepted. It's intercepted by Emmanuel Bonner. Penalty markers come flying in all over the place, and a little bit of chippiness going on.
What a play.
So, who got that? Smith?
Yeah, that's Ronald Smith.
Ronald Smith got that. I thought Emmanuel Bonner had it, but Smith got it. Brings it all the way back. But what's going to happen here? We got maybe that happened after the interception.
Right, the flags, to me, they look like they flew after he already made the catch and he was running back. Maybe some kind of block in the back or something like that. We're about to find out.
On the return, personal foul, blindside block on the return team, number 3, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Emmanuel Bonner gets the penalty on that. Here's the Cincinnati Toyota dealers replay. Well, he did launch that pretty good, didn't he? It's just a jump ball.
He threw it up into double coverage, and Ronald Smith made a play. And Ponitz's head coach, Daryl Wilson, he said when he establishes that run, he expected Thurgood to really pack that box, stack the box. And when they did, he said he felt confident in his quarterback to be able to throw the ball and take shots like that one. In this case, though, Thurgood was ready.
So Marshall will take over at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. 9:18 remaining here in the first half.
Now, Doug, we talked earlier about momentum swingers like that fumble on the 1-yard line and really capitalizing when you're able to make a play like that. That interception is huge for Thurgood, and you really want to see their offense feed off that energy.
Gaines back in there at quarterback. Quesada right behind him.
Nice to see that Quesada's okay. We saw him limp off a little bit earlier.
Wing T, and we got a penalty marker come flying in as it's another delay of game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And Doug, you mentioned that wing T offense, and Adrian Goodwine over at Thurgood. It's very similar to the wing T, but he says he made a few changes. He calls it the Shogun offense, inspired by his mentor, Coach Earl White. Very similar to the wing tee. It has a lot of the similar properties in it. He said when he came to Thurgood, that's what he was running, and he wanted to keep them running something that they were familiar with. He didn't want to have to teach them a lot of new things, a lot of new techniques. He wanted them to be comfortable. He just added a few little twists in there and called it the Shogun style, which sounds pretty cool, I'm not going to lie.
Earl White was here at Thurgood Marshall for a long time. There's a fumble and picked up by Waterhouse. The penalty marker coming in, I think. No, that was just a beanbag that came in. But
wow.
Ponitz has the ball, and they got a big turnover right there. That's a big momentum swing right there.
Right, you know, that's been the theme of the game, Doug. Momentum swingers, and unfortunately, Thurgood hasn't been able to capitalize off of their turnovers and the swings and that momentum. But Taylor and Waterhouse with the huge fumble recovery. Hopefully, Ponitz's offense can make something happen.
Well, it's 1st and 10, ball at the Cougar 13-yard line with 9:12 to go here in the first half. Receiver coming over to the near side is Elijah Ray. 2 men in the backfield.
Got the big guy back there, Vaught.
And a whistle, and looks like movement against the, let's see what it is.
Dead ball, encroachment. Defense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Oh, that's going to mark it 5 yards towards the goal.
And this is Storm White territory right here. The running back, he's leading the team in rushing yards. He's who Darrell Wilson tells us is the coach on the field. He's got that 4.3 GPA, all the football IQ in the world. Expect them to give him the ball right here, Doug.
Ponitz has entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza is a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important.
After the game, I had a slice before the game.
Yeah, so did I. And
there
off
he is.
to White. White's going to be stopped in the backfield.
And Doug, one of our keys to winning was dominating the line of scrimmage, and that's what big boy right there, number 74, just did. Man.
That's Randall. Here's the replay. Brought to you by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Randall said, you're not going anywhere. Get down on the ground.
He said, yeah, you're with me. Come with me. Let's sit down here.
Be second down and 8. Ball at the 12-yard line.
Bennett was telling us how they went around campus and picked all the big guys out. They must have found him in science class or something. Say, hey, young man, we need you. We need to get you in a jersey.
So Vaught and White back in the backfield. Waterhouse up to the top of the screen, I believe.
Oh, man, another one.
And they're saying that they were drawn off by the Cougars, but we'll see what the official has to say. And it's going against Ponitz.
Dead ball. False start, offense, number 50, 5-yard penalty, second down.
You know, my favorite part about one of those penalties, Doug, is...
Here's the penalty again.
Yep.
As you see the right guard move.
Jumped early. And then, of course, you know, when that happens, both teams have to point at each other. You know,
of course.
Even though you know who did it, you got to pretend like you don't. It was them. It was them. It wasn't us. Don't back us up.
Hey, he did it. I didn't do nothing. There's a handoff going to White. White right side. He's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown.
Storm White. We've got a storm here at Welcome Stadium, Doug. The first points of the day for Ponitz.
So Storm White.
Wow. And Doug, you know, before the game, I asked him, who is the running back in the league that you like to pattern your game after? And he told us Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson, the NFL MVP from 2012. He's known for his vision and his explosiveness, and you saw both of those things on display on that run right there by Storm White.
So doing the kicking will be number 13 in Cardoso. Kick is up, and it is good.
There we go.
So with 8:12 to go here in the first half, it's Ponitz 7, Thurgood nothing. We'll be back with more on Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Good shot of the University of Dayton, not far from here. Back deep for the Cougars will be DeJuan Hall and Desmond Johnson.
Coming off that Storm White touchdown, and before the break we were talking about how Storm kind of modeled his game after Adrian Peterson, and ironically I found myself watching an Adrian Peterson highlight reel earlier today from when he won that MVP award, and a lot of the things that you saw AD do, you saw that from Storm White on that run.
Kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte.
Oh, okay.
Good run back. Let's see who got that. That was number 3 in
Emmanuel Bonner. You know, for Thurgood, Doug, right now, the key for them is really to cut down on the mistakes. They've got a lot of penalty yardage so far. They just fumbled a handoff that led to that score.
Scoring summary brought to you by Rand Associates. A 16-yard run by
Storm White.
And the PAT was good by Cardoso, and 7-0 in favor of the Ponitz Golden Panthers.
And now Thurgood, you know, they said they wanted to jump ahead in this game early so that they can really control the flow of the game. That didn't happen. Ponitz has fired the first shots. So now we're going to see how Thurgood can shoot back, Doug.
There we go. That is
there's our guy.
Quesada. And he gets up to the 40, a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 10. Now they're saying it's a fumble.
Opponents are saying they have the ball.
No, but the official's saying he was down. Well, they're going to say that.
Right. Yeah. No big surprise there. Opponents wants the football.
So it'll be 2nd and 5. Ball resting at the 40-yard line of the Cougars. 2 receivers coming down at the bottom of your screen. Make it 3. Going up to the top of the screen is Shantez Gaines.
Quesada's
in the quarterback. He's going to flip it over to the near side. Johnson. Johnson's going to get up to the 50 or 45.
Wow.
He's got a lot of running room. He could go all the way. And he's going to be dropped at the 20-yard line.
Silly me, Doug. When I saw him catch that pass, I said, well, you know, he doesn't have many blockers. I didn't think he was going anywhere. He said, I don't need him. I'm just going to run through everybody in my way.
De'Allen Graves brings him down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. That first down brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of the Golden Panthers.
What a play by Desmond Johnson. Look at him here on the quick screen. Good job by Edward to get it to him. He just says, I'm going to run through these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that he goes through. Man.
So here we go as the Panthers trying to hold the Cougars at bay. Quesada back to pass. He's going to take it himself up the middle. He's got some room. He's to the 15 down to the 12-yard line.
That's that physical style of football he told us about, Doug. He wants the contact. He's not sliding down. If he sees himself one-on-one with the defender, he thinks, yeah, I can run through him.
Thurgood Marshall has entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza is a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important. Now, wait a minute. There was a penalty against the Cougars. An illegal shift against the Cougars, so they are not in the Donato's delivery zone. They're back to the 26-yard line.
No pizza for them, Doug. No pizza for them.
Not so fast, Andre, as the coach would say. You still got 6:20 to go, and it's counting.
You're right. They could get back into that delivery zone. If they make it there, they can have all the pizza they want.
Quesada back in the shotgun. Going back to pass, screen pass over to the near side. As penalty markers come flying in once again. And getting the ball is Ronald Smith. But we got penalty markers flying in again.
A lot of broken tackles for Thurgood right now. Ponitz really has to focus on slowing it down.
Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty from the spot. First down.
And Doug, it seems like our vocabulary word today is momentum, especially when we're talking about momentum swingers. Thurgood had the huge play, about a 40-yard catch and run by Desmond Johnson.
Here's the penalty now.
Just another penalty. You see it right there in the middle.
Right there in the middle.
Just moving Thurgood back. They were in good scoring position. They were into the Donato's delivery zone, as you said, and now it's 1st and 25.
5:53 left here in this first half. Quick moving half. Quesada back in the shotgun once again. 4 receivers to the far side. He passes over the middle. It's got a man open right down to the 7-yard line. And that would be, can't see the number.
What a throw and catch. Great job by Edward Quesada. He told us before the game, he said, look, we just run to open up the pass. If I have to let it fly, I can do that. And you saw it right there on that play.
That's another Aristocrat Products first down. We'll see who gets the pass here. And it's still good to see it. 31. I don't have a 31 on here. 4 receivers up to the top of the screen.
Yep, another quarterback keeper.
Quesada's going to keep it, get down to about the 7-yard line. Brought down by Daniel McIntosh.
This is the physical style of play that I thought we were going to see, Doug. Quesada right there running through 3 or 4 defenders.
Quesada not feeling too good, it doesn't look like.
Let's see if he took a big hit right there. He kind of hit his head pretty hard coming down.
Quesada. Somebody's down on the field.
Man.
That's Quesada.
That's him. And that is tough right there. That's a great young man. Talking to him before the game. Just, you hate to see this.
It's a full hour of can't miss family fun. Join Steve Harvey for Family Feud weeknights at 7 and 7:30 on ABC 22. He makes that show, you know.
Oh yeah, Steve. Look, I couldn't imagine a Family Feud without Steve Harvey. I know. So I'm a little younger, so most of the time that I've been around, Steve Harvey's been the host.
Yeah, it used to be guy who used to play on Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, and it's nothing like sitting in the living room with your family yelling at the TV because the guys playing Family Feud can't find the obvious answer.
They showed him on the. They just showed Quesada.
Yeah, he's limping off right there on the sideline. You saw him just now at the bottom of your screen.
So the Cougars.
And that is a huge loss for the Cougars.
That is true.
He can't go. Especially on that drive. Quesada had made 2 huge throws.
He's being helped over to the cart, looks like.
Oh, man.
That is not what the Cougars need right now.
It's not, especially when you're trying to finish this drive off.
So,
Shantez Gaines.
Gaines back in at quarterback. He's going to take over for Quesada.
The good thing is he's in a pretty good position, Doug.
Oh, yeah. There's a handoff fumble.
Oh,
man. And it's going to be picked up by the Golden Panthers, number 53, in DeJuan Harris. And the Ponitz stops the drive. DeJuan Harris, a 6'1" junior. Here's the replay.
Just a tough situation. Yep, he fumbled the snap, and then it seems like the guy who was coming to get it, number 81 right there, he just wasn't ready for it. It bounces right off of his chest and onto the turf here at Welcome Stadium. So good play by DeJuan Harris.
4:35 to go here in the first half. 7-0 Ponitz on a 13-yard run by Storm White, with Cardoso making the extra points. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Golden Panthers at their own 12-yard line.
That's such a deflator if you're Thurgood Marshall.
There's a handoff going to Vaught. Vaught gets up to about the 17-yard line.
Yep, and they'll be looking to milk away the rest of this clock, hopefully get one more score before halftime. But if you're Thurgood Marshall in back-to-back plays, first of all, your team leader, Edward Quesada, he gets injured. He has to limp over to the sidelines. You mentioned he was over there by the cart, and then on the very next play, the guy who comes in, he fumbles the snap, fumbles the handoff, and now Thurgood, that looked like they were on the cusp of tying this game up, now they're in a position to where they could potentially go down 2 scores.
There's White. White gets the ball and gets to the 20-yard line. Pickup of a couple. Maybe 3rd down. And about 3rd down and 2. So it'll be at the 20-yard line.
And we've seen him throughout the night for opponents. Number 10,
Vaught.
Tim Vaught. I expect the ball to go to him. At this point, you just got to keep it simple. They haven't been able to stop him all night. Every time he gets hit, it seems like he carries guys for another 3 or 4 yards. You only need 2 here. Give it to the big guy.
Here comes White once again, off right tackle. And he's going to pick up a couple of more yards, but is he close to that first down? They have not signaled a first down as of yet.
Looks like the chain gang is moving. Yep, he picked it up.
That first down brought to you by Aristocrat Products. It's another Aristocrat Products first down.
Storm White's been the biggest player so far in this game. You know, he's a very smart kid. We talked about him earlier. He said if he doesn't make it in sports, you know, he's eyeing Ohio State and Cincinnati, but if he doesn't make it in sports, he actually wants to jump into the physical therapy game and own his own business. He's in the business track over there at Ponitz.
Vaught gets the ball. Gets up to the 28-yard line.
Rumble, big man rumble. Another 8 or 9 yards from Tim Vaught.
What did Chris Berman usually say? Rumbling and stumbling.
Rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling down the field.
2:22 and counting here in the first half from Welcome Stadium, home of the Dayton Public League. This place was built the first game was played here in 1948.
Man, you know what I was doing in 1948, Doug?
You weren't even thought of. And neither was I.
I didn't even, my parents weren't even thought of in 1948.
Ponitz calls timeout.
My grandma was a young, spry young woman, though, so that's about it.
2:06 remaining here in this first half. 7-0 Ponitz. Yeah, this place is old, but it's coming up at the half. We got the school administrators at the Wright and Schulte Thursday night lights halftime show. We have interviews with the school administrators, Jeff Schmidt, Auto Scholarship Athlete of the Week plaque presentation, and a lot more. That's brought to you by Wright and Schulte.
Both of our scholar athletes this week are football players. And, you know, we love to see guys who excel in the classroom and on the field. Talking to both of them before the game, they said that the key is really to be able to separate the two. Take care of your classroom stuff so that you can play football and excel there as well.
Cougar cheerleaders were throwing something into the stands. I don't think I could get it up this high.
I mean, you know, I don't doubt them.
They would have had to have an arm like the quarterback from Ponitz.
Oh, yeah, he could for sure reach us.
Probably.
We get free shirts from him all day.
Yeah. Once again, going into pistol is McComb. What? Oh, no, I take it. McComb's going to keep it, and he's going to get brought down at the 26-yard line. He's brought down by Emmanuel Bonner.
2 minutes left in the half. You see them lining up in the shotgun for once, spreading the defense out, and they're trying to move this ball quickly, but the offensive line has got to be able to hold up. As soon as he caught the ball for the snap, it seemed like he had 3 guys all over him, Doug.
That's the offensive line's fault there.
And when you look at the size up front, it really does look like Thurgood Marshall has the physical advantage. They've got a lot of big boys on that defensive line.
Waterhouse sidecar right to...
They're going to come for him again this play.
He fires down. Almost incomplete. Or it's incomplete. Pass was knocked down by number 31, and I don't have a 31 on my sheet for Thurgood.
And we talked about the offensive line that play, and that's kind of the result of always having your quarterback under pressure. He rushed that throw. That guy was open. He just overshot him by about 5 yards, and the pressure wasn't there on that play. He had another second or two. He could have stepped to his left, but when you're constantly under pressure, when you constantly have guys under your neck, your first inclination is, I need to get this ball out quicker. And he rushed that throw a little bit, and now that's what happened.
They're going to punt it away. Back deep will be Bonner and Smith for the Cougars.
Opponent's able to get that punt off. Remember, they had the bad snap on a punt in the first quarter.
Good bounce for the Cougars. Down by Tim Vaught.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. So it's going to be good field position for the Cougars at the opponent's 42-yard line with 1:12 to go here in this first half.
Thurgood, they've had a lot. You see the 0 on the scoreboard, but Thurgood has had a lot of good today. Remember, they had that fumble at the 1 yard line. That was a touchback. That saved points. They had the turnover on downs after the botched punt by Ponitz. They had the big plays last drive, the 40-yard screen pass as we look at the University of Dayton Arena. Can't wait to see the Flyers there in the fall, and I can't wait to see Thurgood let it fly on this drive. They've got 1:12 on the clock. They've got to move quick, Doug.
So here we go with Gaines in the backfield, or in the quarterback, and it fires over to the right side, intended for Christopher Coleman, incomplete.
Just right behind him.
Yeah, UD Arena, home of the OHSA boys and girls basketball state finals.
We had some fun times there last year.
Yeah.
Had Botkins winning their first championship, Centerville winning their first championship.
Yep, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And
the young ladies of Fort Loramie, they won the state championship.
Gaines back in the shotgun once again. Gaines going back to pass, looks over to the right side and fires incomplete.
Got to get that one out of the dirt.
Intended for Desmond Johnson. So 1:05 left now. 3rd down and 10.
And as a coach, you've really got to calm your quarterback down. The last 2 plays, he's had guys open. He threw behind his guy on his first play, and that play, he just bounced it to him. Calm down. You're good. Your offensive line is protecting you. Take a deep breath. Deliver that ball like we know you can.
3rd and 10. Ball at the 42-yard line of opponents. They're trying to hold the Cougars in check once again. 1:05 to go here in the first half. 7-0 Cougars, or Golden Panthers, I should say. Doug Brown, Andre Johnson, and Bennett Wise here at Welcome Stadium for you tonight. Coach is up babysitting in Milwaukee, probably watching the game here. And another pass that was tipped this time.
Behind him as well.
It was tipped by Kyron Odom.
Now the question you have to answer now, if you're Thurgood, is this 4th down territory? Do you want to risk giving them the ball at the 40? Because the lanes have been there. He's had a lot of open receivers here. Right there, he threw it behind his guy. If you're able to put that in front of him, he could catch that in stride. So do you trust Shantez Gaines to throw it again, or do you just punt, play the field positioning game, and trust your defense not to give up a big play to opponents, go into the locker room down 7-0?
No, opponents thinks they're going to be punting it. Storm White standing back at about his 15-yard line.
What's the chance we see some trickeration here, Doug?
Doing the punting will be DeJuan Hall. Good snap, and it's a bad, as Hall is going to be he's going to step out of bounds at the 45-yard line, so the Golden Panthers will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line with 56 seconds remaining here in this first half.
And in that situation, you just got to kick. He had time. He didn't have to take off running. If that was a designed punt play, even after fumbling the snap, he had time to still at least kick it, get 10, 20 yards so that you're not giving them the ball at the 50. If you can pin opponents within the 20 or the 30, they're probably not going to be able to drive down the field in 58 seconds. But now, at the 46, they've got a chance.
So here's the replay, brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Run out of bounds by Jamar Blunt. You set. Here's Gaines or McComb. He's got a man open on the far side.
Good gang tackling by Thurgood.
And timeout is called. The pass was complete to Elijah Ray. So who's going to call the timeout? Is that going to be
timeout Ponitz?
Ponitz calls
timeout.
Their final timeout.
Wow.
With 44 seconds remaining here in the first half, 7-0 in favor of the Thurgood Marshall Cougars, and opponents scored with 8:12 left. If you want to relive all of tonight's action, we will rebroadcast the game Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on ABC 22. Yeah, Storm White had a 13-yard run with 8:12 left in this first half. Left in the first half. Cardoso made the extra point, and that's where we are, 7-0.
And Storm White has been a huge player in this game. Him and Tim Vaught have really been the engines that's been making this opponent's offense go. You know, Storm White, Doug, he actually has a sibling, a brother, big brother, Ricky White. He plays wide receiver for Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
So football runs in that family.
Yep.
And
Sounds like it.
In this position where Ponitz has to pass, don't expect them. Expect them to maybe look Storm's way.
Boss sidecar left. McComb going back to pass. He's going to step up in the pocket. Now he's going to roll to his right. He's running for his life. Instead of the 45 to the 50 and out of bounds at the 49-yard line. He was brought down by John Jones. Here's the replay.
And see that big hit right there? That's what I don't want to see if I'm head coach Darrell Wilson. If I'm Darrell Wilson, I'm saying, okay, look, your first option wasn't there. Your second option wasn't there. You did a good job scrambling. There's no reason to take that hit, man. Get out of bounds.
Right.
Save yourself. Live to play another down. You're fine. That hit is unnecessary.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. There's McComb going back to pass, looking downfield, now fires deep. And
another jump ball. Oh.
Another interception. That is Ronald Smith again.
Man.
His second interception of the quarter. And he's all the way down to the 38-yard line of Ponitz. Here's the Toyota replay. He just threw that up, and it was a jump ball.
Yeah, that's the second time that he's just thrown it up into double coverage. And, I get trusting your guy, but right there, Ronald Smith, that's a safety you don't want to keep throwing at. That's his second interception, second jump ball, and now Thurgood has been able to flip the script, and now they're in position to maybe make something happen before the half ends.
18 seconds left here in this half. Ronald Smith, a 6 foot, 165-pound senior.
Huge play by Thurgood on defense. Now they're at their 38-yard line. 1 timeout to go. But even with that 1 timeout, Doug, you really want to work the sidelines. Maybe get a quick pass, a bubble screen, something that you can get your guy out of bounds. Save that timeout for when you really need it.
Gaines throws it over to the near side. You've got Desmond Johnson.
Now you got to use it.
Down at the 31-yard line. And at third, is he going to call timeout?
Yeah, they used that last one.
Holding.
Oh,
Offense,
wow.
number 75. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Those would be 1st and 20.
There he goes.
There is
Edward Quesada right there. He's the quarterback for this team. He's the linebacker. He plays fullback, slot receiver. He wears many hats on Thurgood Marshall's team. And
that's one hat he doesn't want to wear, sitting on the trainer's table.
Right, well, a lot of hats, but right now he is not wearing his jersey. Not sure if he'll be able to come back into this game, but without him, Thurgood Marshall's offense, it's uphill.
1st and 20, Gaines going back. Flushed out of the pocket, fires downfield, has a man right there. Nice catch.
You got to go down.
By Johnson.
Clock
Johnson goes still up, and time runs out here in the first half. So at halftime, it's Ponitz 7 and Thurgood nothing.
Great defensive half by the Ponitz Golden Panthers. They had that fumble recovery earlier, and honestly, what's been helping them out is all of the penalty yardage. You're really going to want to go into the locker room if you're head coach Adrian Goodwine. You're going to want to get your team and calm them down and tell them that you really need to focus on playing mistake-free football when you come out in the second half.
We're going to try and see if we get a comment as the coach is coming over to Bennett. So good first half for Ponitz. A 13-yard run for Storm White.
A lot of reasons to be happy if you're Coach Darrell Wilson, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
So it's Coach Wilson is making his way over to the sidelines.
We talked about mistake-free football. That was the key for Ponitz coming into this game. And so far, it hasn't been mistake-free if you're Ponitz, but they've made a lot less mistakes than Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood has really racked up the penalty yardage in this game. And Ponitz, give them credit for staying disciplined, playing their brand of football. Doug, take it away.
So we're going to send it down to Bennett Wise with Coach Darrell Wilson of the Ponitz Golden Panthers.
Now, Coach Wilson, you do have a lead here, 7-0 at the half. What went right for you guys
I think defensively we played pretty good. I'm pretty happy with our defensive effort. Later on in the second quarter, we missed some tackles. That's unlike us. So we're going to have to do a better job in the second half of making sure we're wrapping up and not just trying to bump guys down. So defensively, though, I felt pretty comfortable about what we did.
A lot of penalties, turnovers here in the first half. What do you need to do to clean up?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we just need to be disciplined. We lost the opportunity down here on the touchdown. So, when we have the opportunity to take advantage of things like that, we got to make it happen in order for us to pull out this game. Thurgood has a good ball club, and I'm sure it's going to be a tough fight in the second half.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Right, no problem. Thank you.
Coach, we're going to take a break. Be back with halftime activities. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Ponitz 7, Thurgood Marshall, nothing.
Halftime is brought to you by Wright and Schulte.
The Jeff Schmidt Auto Group is proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete Award, featured on Thursday Night Lights. We are honored to recognize these scholar athletes from all over the Miami Valley for their outstanding academic and athletic achievements.
From David H. Ponitz Career Technology Center, Storm White. Storm is on the football and basketball team. He is second team All-Southwest District, first team All-Conference, and the recipient of the Golden Panther Most Outstanding Defensive Back Award. He's actively involved in youth camps as an instructor and mentor and has a 4.2 GPA.
So I'm here with Storm White of the Ponitz Golden Panthers, and you are this week's Scholar Athlete. So Storm, first off, you have a 4.2 GPA. Tell me about how you balance your schoolwork and then also playing football and basketball.
First, start off with my mother. My mother, she keep me determined, and I always tell me without education, there won't be no sports.
Now, talk a little bit more about your mother's impact. I know she, like you said yesterday and then also today, she plays such a big role in this. So why is she so special in your development?
She's so special into my development because, without her, I don't think I'd be having all the accomplishments that I so far had. And then she, no matter what, she makes sure that I succeed. And I know that she cares about when I'm succeeding.
Now, another thing that we know you're involved in is the Young Scholars Program. Tell me about why you wanted to get involved with that and then what is so special about that program to you.
I want to get into the Young Scholars Program because it comes, I want to get into the Young Scholars Program because when I got into the Young Scholars Program, I know that it building more opportunities for me. And then now that I'm in it, I can see all the opportunity that's coming for me.
Now, you're a junior, so you have some college decisions coming up here soon. So have you put any thought into making a decision of where you want to go to school and then also what you want to study?
I wanted to go to school somewhere around the city, and then I wanted to study sports medicine.
All right, so that is this week's Scholar Athletes for the Ponitz Golden Panthers. This is Storm White.
From Thurgood Marshall High School, Edward Casada. Edward's on the football, baseball, basketball, and soccer team, and has a 3.1 GPA.
We're here with our other Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's quarterback Edward Casada from the Thurgood Marshall Cougars. And Edward, you're a three-sport athlete in addition to being a student. So how do you balance the two?
I tend to balance the two within my teammates and my family, and also my teachers. They tend to help me a lot. Whenever I don't know something, I just go up to any one of them, and they'll end up helping me with whatever I need help with.
Now, balancing three sports and then also your academics, there's a lot that you can apply to both to try and better yourself. So what are some things that you take away from both of those that you can apply to one another?
There's a couple things, like honestly, I'm able to get mentally stronger a lot, actually, just because I have to balance out a whole lot of things in order for, first of all, my family to be good, and also for my school. In order for me to be good in school, I get a lot of help from everyone, pretty much.
All right, and that is our other Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's Edward Casada from Thurgood Marshall High School.
Throughout the season, The Jeff Schmidt Automotive Group will recognize an exceptional senior student scholar athlete from each participating school. Here are this week's Jeff Schmidt Automotive Group scholar athletes.
We are back at Welcome Stadium, and I'm pleased to be joined by the principal of Ponitz High School. This is Melinda Clark, and this year is just so different than any other. So going and having people come back to the classroom, what has that been like to see as the principal?
It's been wonderful to have students back in the building full time. It's a joy to have our kids. They're doing a phenomenal job in the classroom, in their career tech classes as well. They do great everywhere, and it's just nice to really have kids back in the classroom and really have that connection back, not just with staff but with the students as well and their families.
So having that connection, why is that so important to have?
It really builds that academic component, and it really helps students continue to excel.
Now, you've gotten to come and see your Golden Panthers a couple of times on the field. What have you enjoyed so much about it?
I've really enjoyed seeing their growth, not just in numbers as a team since last year, but then also into this year's program, but also to see them grow and excel in their skills and their talents on the football field. It's been great to see the young men really get to play more and to be stronger on the field and really develop as athletes.
Well, Principal Clark, I'll let you get back to the game. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
We are here back at halftime here at Welcome Stadium, and I'm pleased to be joined by the principal of Thurgood Marshall High School, Dr. Marvin Jones, and this is your first year with the high school. So tell me a little bit about getting back into the classroom, because last year was so different than any other academic year.
It's, been somewhat of a challenge. Our students some have been out of school, some in school, some hybrid learning, and that's a difficult thing. We ask parents to do something they had never done before, which is monitor student work, assist their children with their schoolwork, especially at the high school level. And so it's been a bit of a challenge, but it's refreshing to be back in the building, working with students and working with teachers.
Now, what is it like to be a first-year principal at a new school?
Well, I've been a principal a couple of times. It's my first year at Thurgood, and it's exciting. You come in, you establish relationships, establish two-way forms of communication, and diagnose what needs exist in the building. And that in and of itself is exciting for me. And then the collaboration that you have with teachers is magical.
Now, you said you've gotten to go to a couple of Cougar games here. They've been away, but what have you liked so far out of your Cougars?
It's all about progress. Our Cougars are getting better every week. I went to a practice last week, and I don't think I've seen that level of intensity and precision before. And so I'm looking forward to see what they do tonight.
That is the principal of Thurgood Marshall High School, Dr. Marvin Jones. Dr. Jones, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Halftime has been brought to you by Wright & Schultz.
Back here at Welcome Stadium, 7-0 is our score. Bennett had a chance to talk to Adrian Goodwine, but we'll get to that right after the kickoff. Here's a kickoff coming down, and it's going to looks like Hall.
Line drive kick. Okay.
And now we send it down to Bennett and the coach.
I'm here with Coach Julian Goodwine of Thurgood Marshall, and Coach, going down at the half. What adjustments are you making here for the second half?
Man, we're just going to look to try to get some things actually going consecutively on offense. Try to group a good group of plays together and just take it one play at a time. That's really what it is. Defensively, we're playing really, really good. We've given up one score on a short possession, and I'm honestly okay with that. Offensively, we got to figure something out just to get it going, honestly. Keep the ball off the ground and also too many penalties.
Now, a big part of your offense is that quarterback, Edward Quesada. What can you tell us about the status of his injury?
Well, Edward's going to try to make a return, man. If he doesn't come back, we're going to have to go next man up approach, okay? And we're going to have to really go for the sophomore Shantez Gaines and see what he can do. I mean, that's really where we're at.
All right, I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you and good luck.
Appreciate you, man. All right.
We have a Golden Panther down on the near side, and that would
walk
be
off on his power. That's a good sign right there.
That's Ronaldo Cardoso, the kicker. So I think it's probably a cramp. It's a nice night here at Welcome Stadium.
Beautiful. You know, just listening to Coach, we were talking during the break about things that these teams needed to do coming out in the second half, and Coach Goodwine hit it. Penalties. Before the game, he said the team that plays the cleanest brand of football is going to win the game, and so far we've seen holding, encroachment, illegal blocks, 12 men on the field. They've got to keep this clean, Doug. They've really got to stay disciplined, cut down on those penalties, because they've made some big plays here tonight, Doug, but a lot of them have been wiped out by those yellow flags that we all hate so much.
Gaines in the shotgun. Man in motion is Johnson. He's going to get the ball, and he's going to reverse the field and get over to the left side, and he's brought down by Storm White. A pickup of maybe 1 or 2, if that. Be second down and 8.
Storm White making the big defensive play, Doug. And, you know, we talked to Storm. He's a big football guy, but he also plays basketball. And he tells us that he is the best defender on that Ponitz basketball team. He can lock up anybody on this field right now. His teammates disagree. You know, we may have talked to some of his teammates who say that is not true, but they love Storm's confidence on both the basketball court and on the football field.
Johnson going into motion. He's going to get the flip back from Gaines. Johnson gets some running room up to the 48-yard line. We'll make it the 44-yard line. Pickup of about 4 more.
The same play on back-to-back downs, that jet sweep, and you know, Doug, I feel like that's setting something up. Maybe you bring that guy in play action, in motion, and then run the play action. You're able to sneak your quarterback, Shantez Gaines, out of the pocket. Really help alleviate some of that pressures that's been on him. Help him get on the move and either keep it himself to get that first down or hit a guy to open down the field.
3rd and 3. This time going into motion is Hall. And Johnson's going to get it once again.
Oh, no. Oh,
wow. Away.
Look at the big guy.
Bought. He's still on his feet.
He's still going.
He was carrying Hall.
Oh, my goodness gracious. He snatched that out of his hands. The big guy, Tim Vaught.
Here's the replay brought to you by Toyota.
Great ball awareness. He says, give me that. That's coming with me.
That's not yours, that's mine. I'm taking it. I'm going to run with it.
And he ran with this guy, too. He carried him about 15 yards before somebody finally came through and helped him out. What a play by Tim Vaught. We talked about Storm White's defense, but his fellow running back, Tim Vaught, also making a huge play, the 230-pound senior. And now Ponitz is in great scoring position, Doug, early in this second half.
Yeah, 10:08 to go here in this third quarter. Just underway as White is back into the backfield, and so is Vaught in the I formation. Vaught's going to get the handoff, and he's going to go. He's going to go down to the 1-yard line.
Hey, hard work gets rewarded around here. You make the big defensive play, you get a chance to make a play on offense, but
here's
like the big man is down after that play.
He just running over people.
Get off of me. Get off of me. Oh, but
So we that replay brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers, and we got another man down.
Still down on the field.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more of the third quarter. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. After tonight's game, get your full first warning weather weekend forecast from Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters, only on Dayton 24/7 Now News at 10 on Fox 45 News.
Natalie's great. She's always giving me the bad news when it's going to be cold.
Here's White, and is he into the end zone? No, he's just a little short.
It looks like he's a little short, like you said there, Doug. And, with number 10, Tim Vaught, we saw him get banged up a little bit before the break. And, he's big when it comes to a big, powerful runner, but he's also a big blocker. He's been lining up in the fullback spot. And, typically if you're Storm White, you're just going to follow big number 10 into the end zone right there. But with Tim Vaught out of the game, that's going to make things a little harder on Storm White as well.
Talion Waterhouse is in at fullback now for the Golden Panthers.
That's a big, strong
right
guy,
in the
too.
eye. This time,
keep it simple. There it is.
Keep it. So McComb makes it now 13-0. As touchdown McComb on a 1-yard run.
And now Ponitz takes a 2-possession lead. You heard Darrell Wilson say before this game, we just need to keep things simple. And it doesn't get any simpler than the old quarterback sneak. Get the snap, run forward, follow your offensive line, and the big guys gave him a great push into the end zone there.
We're going to toss to Bennett down there on the field. What do you got there, Bennett?
Well, with Ponitz just scoring their second touchdown, their first touchdown, you guys forgot, it was set up by the fumble recovery from Talion Waterhouse. He's a special guy for this Ponitz team, and he's going down to Dallas, Texas to play at AT&T Stadium in the Blue-Gray Bowl, All-American Bowl, and it's this December again in Jerry World, so a big stage for Talion Waterhouse, and it's a big scouting opportunity. And when I asked Waterhouse about really what this means on being selected, he said, knowing where I'm from and at a school like Ponitz, it's, we don't have guys who get looked at nationally, so it means so much to him and then also Coach Wilson as well to have him go down there.
Thank you, Bennett. We're going to take a break. Be right back with more. 13-0 Golden Panthers with the extra point coming up. You're watching Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. It all started with a Big Bang. The Big Bang Theory weeknights at 6 and 7 on Fox 45. Had a man down.
Hey, that's us. Hey, look at us.
Hey, there we are.
Hey, yeah. Got some FaceTime action in the third quarter. And, speaking of FaceTime, we actually just saw Bennett Wise, our sideline reporter down there. He was talking about Talion Waterhouse, and Talion's a guy who Coach Darrell Wilson said is a joy to coach. He's skilled, big body, selfish. He's going to that Blue-Gray All-American Bowl out in Dallas because he's got dreams of playing on the collegiate level. And when we asked him what team he's eyeing, he said he loves Akron, the environment there, the campus, just everything about it from athletics to classroom.
Kick is up, and it is no good, but a penalty marker down.
That's been a theme for the night.
See what it is?
Dead ball, encroachment, number 3 on the defense.
Oh, man.
Half the distance, replay the try.
At this point, as a coach, you're thinking, I could kick this field goal, or since I just got half the distance to the goal, maybe I go for 2.
They're going to go for it. They're going to go for 1.
Oh. If this was Madden, Doug, I'd be going for 2.
If the coach was up here, he'd say, let's go for 2. Good snap. Kick is up by Cardoso, and it is good.
There we go. Give the guy a second chance.
14-0.
Doug, we were talking about Talion Waterhouse earlier, and, Bennett mentioned how the first touchdown for Ponitz was set up by his fumble recovery, and I asked Talion what is his favorite football memory, and it was a play similar to that one. It was one of his first games in his freshman season. The quarterback was sacked. He fumbled. Talion picked it up, scooped it, and scored it. Ran it back about 25, 30 yards. He said he was scared he was going to get caught from behind, but now that I've seen that guy run, I don't think anybody was going to catch him.
This scoring summary brought to you by Rand Associates. A 1-yard run by McComb. A 15-yard drive, 1-yard run, and the PAT was good. And it's 14-0.
You see the big guy right there, Tim Vaught. We talked about the scoring summary. That was made possible because of that guy that's sitting on the cart right there. He got the turnover. He literally ripped the ball out of the running back's hands. He ran it back. Then he got them down to the 2-yard line off a big run up the middle, and that's when we saw him banged up. He's over there on the cart right now. It looks like they're looking at his leg, and Doug, we're really hoping that this guy is all right because, I nicknamed him and Storm White Thunder and Lightning, and Lightning, Lightning's nice, but Thunder and Lightning, that's a little more terrifying.
Bonner, Hall, and Johnson back deep. This kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte, picked up by Hall. Hall on the move. He's got some room. as Waterhouse is going to bring him down at the 32-yard line.
There's that guy right there. Oh,
and now
no.
he's hurt.
Waterhouse limping off the field right now.
They've been cramping up, too. That's so Talion Waterhouse.
He's trying to stay on, but now you got to.
He's going to have to come out.
Yeah, you got to sit it down and get that looked at, partner. Talion Waterhouse, the basketball player, track star.
They usually have a decent basketball team down there at Ponitz.
You've got him and Storm White. We've been talking about both of them all night. You've got both of them on that basketball team, even though Talion says he'd beat Storm if they played one-on-one.
Pitch to Hall. Hall around the right side. Waterhouse. Or it was not Waterhouse. That was Chaney Benson.
Waterhouse is down again after that play. You know, he limped back on the field. He tried to go at it, but after missing that tackle right there, he's still laid out on the field as we speak. Waterhouse, you see him at the bottom of your screen coming around that left side, trying to catch up to him from behind, and he's still down. You heard the big contact there from the running back.
That replay brought to you by Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. You know, those trainers, both sides, they've had a lot to do tonight, but they don't really want to work on game night, but they are out there in a hurry. They do their job. They do a fantastic job each and every night, even during practices, games, whenever. And they keep these kids healthy. But sometimes, like what happened there, it's the cramps.
Yeah, you mentioned that cramping earlier, and it looks like she's really rubbing that calf area for Talion right now.
Join us next Thursday on mytvdayton.com or mytv Dayton at 7 p.m. when we head to Troy Memorial Stadium to catch the Sydney Yellow Jackets. Taking on the Troy Trojans. That's going to be a dandy.
That's going to be a fun game. Sydney, they've had an up and down year, but their offense has shown to be very dangerous this year. And the Troy Trojans, they're coming off their first win of the season in an overtime thriller over Stebbins at home. Man, those two teams, they're going to get at it next week.
And you know what? They might be 10,000 people in that stadium up there at Troy.
That's a lot of people, Doug. Oh man, yeah. I don't know if we can fit.
8:42 is on the clock.
8:42. They sent it back to 12 minutes. So 8:42 left here in this third quarter. 14-0 Hall in motion. Gets the pitch. Goes around left side, and he's going to be stopped for pickup of nothing as they scramble for it. And here's the Toyota replay.
Great run coverage by Ponitz on here. Look at them. They're staying disciplined. There's a lot of pre-snap motion by that Thurgood Marshall team, but Ponitz isn't getting fooled. They're keeping their eyes on that ball, and they're not getting, ran out by all of those misdirections and all of that.
Benson in on the stop once again for the Golden Panthers.
And Coach Darrell Wilson said something very interesting to Bennett Wise down there on the sidelines. We'll talk more about that after this play.
Here's a pitch. This time going to Win. Win around the right side. He's not going to go very far. What's bringing him down is Elijah Ray. And it'll be fourth down and about 7 or 6 at the 36-yard line.
Right on cue there, Doug. When Coach Darrell Wilson was talking to Bennett, he said one of the things he wasn't happy about in the first half was the tackling. There were a lot of missed tackles, a lot of guys getting ran through because they weren't wrapping up. But he must have said something about that in that locker room, because now, looking at this Golden Panthers team, they're gang tackling, they're wrapping up. You're not seeing those plays that you saw in the first where, we saw the wide receiver catch the ball on the screen and run through 3 Panthers on his way to a 40-yard catch. Those times are gone. They're playing good, disciplined football, staying in their lanes, watching the football, wrapping up on tackles, and that's why you've got this punt right now.
Storm White, bad snap. Hall going back after it. It's down at the 6-yard line. That's where the Golden Panthers will take over 1st and 10 as the ball went way over the head of Jawan Hall.
Yeah, Jawan didn't have a chance on that one. That ball soared over his head. By the time he got his hands on it, there were 3 Panthers on his face. He couldn't even punt it away if he wanted to.
Here's the Toyota dealer's replay. He just said, "Heck with it, I'm going to fall on it. I'm not going to let Javante Barnes anywhere near it." So it'll be 1st and 10 or 1st and goal for the Golden Panthers as they can They entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza is a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important.
And if you're Thurgood Marshall, this is one of those film sessions that you really dread going into, because this has been a very winnable game for them so far, but it's mistakes like that last one that has put them in a tough position.
Here's White into the end zone for a touchdown.
There goes Storm. Lightning strikes here in Welcome Stadium. Storm White into the end zone.
His second touchdown of the night.
We talked to Coach Darrell Wilson earlier, and he told us that Storm Wilson, he reminds him of himself way back in high school. Just his IQ, the way he carries himself. Storm, one of the smartest players on this team. He's got that 4.3 GPA, and just you talk about momentum swings. We've been talking about it all night. The big turnover on downs thanks to that botched punt attempt, and Storm wastes no time getting into that end zone. And now it's about to be a 21-0 game if they can make this extra point. And Thurgood Marshall, they love to run the ball, but when you're down 21 points, Doug,
they're going to have to toss it.
Yeah, you're forced out of the game plan that you're comfortable with.
Kick is up, and it is good. And makes it now 21-0 with 6:48 remaining here in this third quarter. Here's the Toyota replay as he just ran right through everybody.
And that's Storm right there. Earlier we looked at the Dunbar football players. They were up in the top of the stands. I actually still see them up there getting some early scouting in. And, we asked Storm about his favorite football memory ever. And he said it was last year when they beat Dunbar, because it had been about 10 years, he said, since they beat them. So taking them down last year was such a huge upset. He was so happy on that game, and he said he just wants to feel that over and over and over again. And if things stay the way that they are right now, oh yeah, he's going to have that feeling in about an hour and a half.
That scoring summary brought to you by Randon Associates. That one-play drive, 6-yard run by Storm White. The extra point was good. 21-0 is our score with 6:48 to go here in this third quarter. It's all opponents right now.
We were talking about Storm coming off of that score. Storm told us very plain and simple, this is a new Ponitz. He said, with the coaching change with Coach Wilson coming over, it's a change in mentality, a change in the way they play, and we've seen that on full display in their first City League game tonight.
That kickoff brought to you by Wright and Schulte as the ball goes into the end zone, and the Cougars will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And part of the reason he said that, Doug, he said one of the biggest changes has been this team's just a lot more disciplined. And that's been one of the themes tonight, discipline. There's Coach Darrell Wilson right there. And he told us that he wants to keep it simple for his guys. He wants to see them do the simple things, tackling, holding on to the ball, not committing bonehead penalties. And his team has done a great job of that. That's part of the reason they're up 21-0 right now. And that's part of the reason that Storm White told us that this is a different Ponitz team.
Good shot of the Thurgood Marshall Cougar cheerleaders. Here's a play in motion. Comes over to
the tackle made by Talion Waterhouse. It's good to see him back on the field after having to come out last possession. He bounces right back up after that one.
Deshaun Twitty on the carry. If you have any pictures of tonight's game and want to join in on the discussion online, follow us on Facebook at Dayton 24/7 Now and use the hashtag Thursday Night Lights. There's a good shot of Talion Waterhouse.
We asked him that hard question we talked about earlier, Doug. What's the most interesting thing about you that people may not know? And he said that it's just that he's a very hard-working person, and because he works so hard, he pushes that on his teammates. He doesn't let them take the easy way out, and oh, man.
It's recovered by the Cougars, and it's going to be recovered by number 22 and Christopher Coleman. It was not a good handoff.
And they've had a couple of problems with the handoffs today, Doug. We saw another fumble when they were at the 10-yard line.
There's the Toyota dealer's replay. He was right there for the recovery.
Heads-up play just to fall on that ball, not to try to scoop and score, because a lot of times we see guys try to scoop it up and still try to make a play, and ball ends up looking like hot potato, and next thing you know, Ponitz has the ball within the 10-yard line. So a good heads-up play just to fall on it, wash that play. We're coming back, but they're going to have to let Shantez Gaines throw that thing. They're down 21, 5 minutes left in this third quarter, and they've got to make something happen quick.
Another injury. This time it is Daniel McIntosh, a defensive lineman.
Once again, another leg injury. We've seen a lot of cramping today. That might be it. It is a good sign that at least he's able to walk off the field, even if it's just limping. The fact that he's on his feet is a good sign.
Yes.
Talked about those trainers earlier. They're really earning their work today.
Yes, they are. And like I said, they do a great job. They don't get a lot of credit, but they do. They do a great job.
The unsung heroes of high school football.
So here we go once again. 3 receivers to the top of your screen.
Empty backfield. Now they're going to have to throw it.
Gaines going back to pass. Dumps it over to the left side, intended for Johnson. And he short ops it, and it's going to be 4th down.
And, we talked about this in the second quarter, Doug. Offensive line play. Shantez Gaines, he's been off on a few throws today, but he's also been under pressure all day, and on that throw, it was just a quick bubble screen, but as soon as he snapped the ball, the right end got through untouched, and he's in his face. He just had to get the ball out of his hands, and as a result of it, he 2-hops it over to the wide receiver.
You're talking about Belmont earlier. They got to go to Columbus and play Columbus East tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And also Methodical, they go to Summer Country Day down in Cincinnati. So Earl White has changed that program over there at Methodical.
Earl White, who was the inspiration for Coach Adrian Goodwine over at Thurgood Marshall. He says a lot of the ways that his team practices, the way they prepare, the offense they run, their mentality, all of that was inspired by Coach Earl White.
Hall gets the punt away this time, and it's going to be down to the 32-yard line of the Cougars. So the Golden Panthers will have a good field position once again with 5:20 to go here in this third quarter. They lead it 21-0, having 2 scores here in this third quarter. There's a good shot of the crowd.
Coach White might be in there, Doug. We talked to Coach Goodwine. He said Coach Earl White was his high school coach, so obviously they go way back, and he said he expected him to be here tonight.
Yeah, doing a little scouting, too.
He might be here for 2 reasons.
Yeah. If you know Coach White, you know he's here. And if he isn't, he's probably watching.
And now we get to see this Ponitz offense that has really come to life in the second half, especially the running game. Oh, man.
Handoff, and
never mind. No, you don't.
Waterhouse can't handle it, and it's picked up by Thurgood. Picked up by John Jones. And the Cougars will have it ball back again on the turnover.
John Jones, the famous UFC fighter, and Thurgood Marshall showing some fight in this game. Huge defensive play on the botched handoff to Tavion Wallers. It just bounces right off of his chest. Thurgood falls on it, and they've had a lot of offensive woes, but they've made some big defensive plays in this game, Doug. We've seen multiple fumble recoveries. We've seen the 2 big interceptions in this first half. And we've got another cramping player out there. The one who just recovered the fumble, number 16, Doug.
Where's he at?
Right there on the sidelines by the bench.
Timeout, Thurgood.
Timeout called by Thurgood Marshall with 5:12 to go here in this third quarter.
And that is not a good feeling,
No, it is not.
Now, I hate to be the guy who says back in my day, but when I was playing in high school, those cramps, it just feels like you will never walk again sometimes. Oh, man.
Yeah, but it was like 90 degrees out there when you were playing there, right?
Yeah.
Down there in Louisiana?
90 degrees in the fall.
Yeah. Yeah, 5:12 to go. And, you're about ready to wear your parka here.
Yeah, see, that's why I play basketball inside.
We wish our family was as funny as the one on Modern Family. Weeknights at 7:30 and 11 on Fox 45. Maybe we are as funny as these guys are.
Yeah,
who knows?
For real. My family's pretty funny. I don't know about that. Get us all in one place. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's about time to get the old parka out. It's in the 50s.
You're right. Look, once it drops below 50, Doug, you will not see me without my parka, my furry hood. I'm going to be warm. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, is your fiance ready for it?
Nope, she is not.
It's a toss over to the left side, and Johnson gets up to the 31-yard line.
Another great tackle by the opponent's Golden Panthers.
Pickup of about a yard or two. Be second down and
That's Kyron Odom on that tackle right there. You see him. The 5'9", 150-pound senior just literally grabbing onto his shoe and not letting go. And that's been the biggest change from the first to the second half for the Ponitz Panthers. Tackling, wrapping up, not trying to just lower your shoulder and getting bounced off. You know, they've got a couple small guys on that defense. But small guys can make tackles if you do it the right way.
Gaines going back to pass. He's going to step up. He's going to have to run with it. And he's going to be brought down once again by big number 36 and Chaney Benson.
A great defensive performance by the Ponitz Panthers. They've had Shantez Gaines running for his life all night. Another sack for Ponitz. Now you got third and long.
3rd and 9. Back at the 29-yard line.
And when you're in a position like this, it really makes it hard on the offense, because I was watching Monday Night Football last week, listening to Peyton Manning, and he said that third downs are really won on 1st and 2nd. You don't want 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 11s. You want the 3rd and 1s, the 3rd and 2s, but since you didn't go anywhere in the early downs.
Gaines gets it out the hall on the right side, and he's not going to get very far. As a matter of fact, he's going to lose some yardage.
And that's what I'm talking about right there, Doug. You know, when you're 3rd and long, a play like that, you're hoping for a lot of things to go right for you to be able to pick up a first down, to where if you can get more done on that 1st and 2nd down, then maybe a quick swing pass can get you that yard or two that you need.
Here's the Cincinnati Toyota dealers replay. And that was a little duck flying there. It's 4th down, so Storm White is back at the 45-yard line. Hall will punt it away. He had a good punt or a good snap last time. It was a short kick, though. Here's a bad snap once again. He gets the ball away, and everybody's going to clear away, but except for Elijah Ray. Man. Ray's going to pick it up. He's going to go down and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. Did he?
Nope. There's the sign. It's official. Wow.
That touchdown brought to you by Donato's.
Wow. We've seen the offense. We've seen the defense from Ponitz. And now the special teams getting involved. The huge punt return by Elijah Ray. You see his coach showing him some love right there. And let's see the replay.
Here's the punt. It was a quick punt. He's going to pick it up at the 37-yard line.
And shout out to him, because that's awareness right there. When that ball bounced, Thurgood was just kind of looking at the ball like, okay, where's it going to go? They're taking their time. They're saying, do we want to down it yet? Let's just look at it. And Elijah said, well, since nobody else wants it, I'll take it. And he ran it all the way back for 6 more points.
2:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's now 27-0. Cardoso will in for the extra point. High snap. Kick is up, and it hits the goalpost. So the kick is no good, and that's going to keep it at 27-0 in favor of the Golden Panthers. Here's the replay once again, brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers.
And that takes guts to do, let me tell you, Doug, because I've seen many a times where somebody will try to pick up one of those bouncing footballs on a punt, and it'll skirt off their knee or bounce off of their chest, and now next thing you know, it's the team that punted still on offense, but he picked up the bounce perfectly. Thurgood was just watching, and coach showing him some love. He deserves it.
Think the coach is happy?
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit. And just a little bit. That's actually Coach Marcus Bierham.
There's a scoring summary brought to you by Rand & Associates. A 37-yard punt return by Elijah Ray.
You saw Coach Marcus Bierham showing his guys some love. And Coach Wilson said that way back in the day in Michigan, he coached Marcus Bierham when Marcus was 8 years old. Now Marcus is an assistant coach on his squad. When Marshall was a young man at the University of Tiffin, he says he broke all of the records over there. And now he's imparting that wisdom on this young Ponitz Panthers team.
Bonner and Hall back deep for the Cougars at about their 15-yard line. Cardoso will kick it away, and we may have an offside. We pick up. Nice job. And that was Emmanuel Bonner. They'll take it out to about the 23-yard line, and that's where the Cougars will take over 1st and 10 with 2:37 remaining here in this 3rd quarter. They've scored 13
20.
20 points here in the second half.
Yeah, 20 unanswered points. The Panthers coming out of the locker room on fire. And, you know, we heard the Thurgood Marshall's coach, Adrian Goodwine. He said that with Edward Quesada coming out of the game, his big quarterback and linebacker, it had to be a next man up mentality. And so far, the next man really hasn't been able to get much moving. This Thurgood offense has been very stagnant in the third quarter.
Here's Gaines. Gaines is going to be dropped at the 26-yard line. Make it 27. Pickup of 2, second down and 8.
We talked about winning the line of scrimmage before this game, Doug, and so far that's been dominated by the Panthers. And there's the guy we were just talking about just now, Edward Quesada. He doesn't have his jersey on. We saw him holding that shoulder earlier when he came off the field. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get back into this game. And honestly, if you're a coach, you're down 27-0. Do you want to risk the health of your best player, putting him in a game where it looks like it may be out of reach early on? And that's just a tough loss for Thurgood Marshall because that's their guy, that's their leader, their quarterback, their linebacker, their big hitter, the guy who really gets in the huddle to make sure everybody is on the same page. He's also a big soccer player. He scored 10 goals in a game once, Doug.
There's a handoff to Wynn. Wynn getting some good yardage, and Wynn went down, and number 31, Shavar Ross, went in, and he didn't like that too much.
That's Coach Goodwine right there, running this Shogun offense. It's very similar to the wing T, a run-heavy style, but like I mentioned earlier, they've been getting dominated on the line of scrimmage, and when that's happening, it's very difficult to commit to consistently running the ball, especially now that you're down 27-0.
This time Gaines is going to keep it, goes around the left side, and he stopped right there by Odom. But he's got the first down, and that's going to be another Irby's first down for the Cougars. Another Irby's first down. We have the meats.
And hopefully Thurgood can have some momentum this drive because they've got that big first down and they're actually being able to move the ball on the ground. But once again, when you're down 27-0, at some point you're going to have to put the ball through the air. But that offensive line hasn't been able to give Shantez Gaines any time.
Gaines once again on the quarterback keeper. And he's going to get up to the 43-yard line. Pickup of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 with 25 seconds and counting here in the third quarter.
Gaines bouncing off of a tackle there, and that might be Ponitz falling into some bad habits because we heard Coach Wilson talk to Bennett at halftime about really wrapping up. Don't lower your shoulder. When you lower your shoulder, you can't see them. Wrap up, take them down, keep it simple because we don't need any big plays because you guys are trying to make a hit stick.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Ponitz 27, Thurgood nothing. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. We're going to send it down to Bennett Wise and Daryl Wilson's wife. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Doug. I'm here with Christy Wilson, the wife of Ponitz head coach. Now, coaches get a lot of credit for what they do on the field, but off the field, what is the support like at home, especially with a football coach, because that takes up a lot of time?
Yeah, I would say that during football season, it's all football all the time. But I would also say he's just the kind of guy who really cares about making sure that the players become great young men, too. So he spends a lot of time focusing on that as well.
So we asked him yesterday, honestly, how much time is he able to spend at home? And he kind of laughed at us a little bit. So can we get what's the real answer here?
It feels like about an hour or less a night before it's time to go to bed. So very, very little.
So in supporting him and being out here for all these games, it really is a lot because I know you have kids as well. So as a father, I mean, what is that like for him to be able to interact with his kids after trying to really mentor a lot of these kids on this team?
Yeah, I think he always puts family first, and I think that luckily his kids like football a lot too, so that makes it easy and, makes the connection as well.
All right, well, Christy, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's going to be okay tonight because I think there's going to be a lot of talking about the game tonight.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be real happy when he gets in that car to go home. And, he's also, we talked to his wife just now, but he's also got 3 kids. One of them is a sophomore over at Wayne. He's going to be playing against Miamisburg tomorrow. And Coach Wilson told us that he's glad he's actually playing on Thursday Night Lights because since he's playing on Thursday, now he's free for Friday night to go over and see his son play at Wayne.
That's the advantage of playing on Thursday nights. Yeah. Plus, we're the only game in town. So it's now 3rd down and 8 for the Cougars. Ball at the 39-yard line. 3rd down and 8.
Now, while Bennett was talking to Mrs. Wilson, we actually had another big holding call, which has unfortunately been the theme of the night for Thurgood. Just too many penalties.
The fake handoff. Gaines is going to keep it, and he's going to try and run over everybody up to the 41-yard line.
And unfortunately, it seems like Ponitz is on to him now. We saw some big runs from Shantez Gaines off of that read action, him keeping it. We've seen QB power, quarterback draws, read option keepers, and he was able to pick up some big yards from that. But now, Ponitz is staying home. They're not immediately going to jump that running back. They're staying home, anticipating that Shantez is going to pull that ball out of his gut and try to pick up some yards himself.
So 10:15 left here in this fourth quarter. I'll say first quarter. It's fourth quarter. And it looks like...
You wish it was the first quarter.
Yeah. Storm White going back deep for the Golden Panthers. I think they were part of the name of the Kaiser Panthers. And what do we have here? Time called. We're going to take a break. Be right back. With 9:54 left. 27-0 Ponitz. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. There's the trophy that the Ponitz Golden Panthers and the Thurgood Marshall Cougars are fighting for. It's the Thursday Night Lights trophy donated by Rand Associates. There's a short punt coming down, and it's going to take a Thurgood bounce. And it's going to be down at the 37-yard line, and that's where the Golden Panthers will take over. 1st and 10. They lead at 27-0, scoring 20 points in that third quarter. It was McComb on a 1-yard run, White on a 6-yard run, and Ray on a 37-yard punt return.
And after that punt return, you see Thurgood a lot more active in covering that punt. For when Ray ran it back, they were just kind of staring. Nobody was making a move to down it or to hop on the ball as soon as it stopped moving. So Ray scooped it up and took it to the house. That time, he had about 2-3 people waiting for it. They weren't about to let that happen again. I'm sure they heard about that from Coach Adrian Goodwine.
They just said, nag on that. Here we go. 3 receivers coming over to the near side, 1 to the far side. And in the backfield is a new one. It's number 35, and I don't have his number or his name.
Penalty flag flies.
And short hops Elijah Ray. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Golden Panthers as we have a penalty marker down. Let's see what it is as they discuss it right around the 30-yard line. Here's the official. There's the
illegal formation, illegal number on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, we play 1st down.
Illegal number. I never hear it.
Yeah, you don't hear that one very often.
No, you don't. They didn't say the number, but
that's a rare call against the Golden Panthers right there.
9:29 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 27-0 Ponitz. Doug Brown along with Andre Johnson Jr. Bennett Wise here for you. They're at Welcome Stadium in downtown Dayton. Next week we'll be at Troy Memorial Stadium for Sydney at Troy. That should be a good one. Big Miami Valley League game.
That's going to be fun. You know, we talked about Sydney. They've shown that their offense can be dangerous this year. Troy pulling off an upset against Stebbins in overtime last week.
McComb going back to pass, fires over to the right, to the left side. He has Ray.
Good route by Ray.
Ray's going to be brought down at the 39-yard line.
waiting until the fourth quarter to air it out. You know, they've been running it effectively all game, and now you've got 9 minutes left. You can ice the game, but they say, no, we're staying aggressive. We want to pile those points on.
That was Delvonte Adams on the catch, 6'2", 185 senior.
We've got a lot of seniors in this starting lineup, Doug. We've seen the veterans making huge plays today, from Adams to Tim Hards. Just a very veteran-laden team right here.
Opponents trying to win their second consecutive game. They shut out North College Hill last week, 19-0 here at Welcome Stadium. There's a handoff to White. White coming around the near side. Now he's going to reverse and head back the other way. Slicing and dicing through the Thurgood Marshall defense. He's got the first down up to the 47-yard line. That's going to be another Aristocrat Products first down.
Storm, he's got the speed, he's got strength, but his biggest tool in his toolbox, Doug, might be his vision. You saw him take the outside handoff there. He saw it wasn't there, so he cut it back, then jumped left again, made a beeline towards the middle, and he picked up about 12 yards on that carry.
Two receivers going to the far side, two to the near side. Ray and White on the near side. Cheney Benson in the backfield.
Full blitz coming.
McComb fires it over to the right side. He has a man open in Christopher Warner, but he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to lose a couple of yards back to about the 35-yard line.
Great job by the opponent's offensive line, really picking up that zero blitz. Zero blitz meaning they've essentially just left all the corners and the safeties in single man-to-man coverage and sent the house trying to put pressure on that quarterback from Ponitz, but he moved to his left. He stayed calm. He found his check down option. But Thurgood did make a big play, a good tackle, wrapping up and slinging him down to the ground.
Ray coming over to the near side, I formation.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Thurgood send some more pressure on this play, Doug.
His hand off to White. White up the middle.
Woo.
He's got some running room. He's to the 40, 35. He's going to be thrown out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Looks like he was thrown out of bounds by D'Emmanuel Bonner. That's another Aristocrat Products first down.
Storm White, a very smart football player. You see it here, him finding the gap, getting to the outside, and trying to use his speed to get to the end zone. And, you know, we mentioned how smart he is, the 4.3 IQ all night. He's in the Young Scholarship Program over at Ponitz. It's a program where they really take the time and just advance your curriculum, show you how it's going to be in college. You take harder classes, and Storm said that it is, quote, one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
Handoff this time going to Benson. Benson gets down to the 12-yard line.
Benson in that fullback role that was filled by Tim Hart, who we saw unfortunately go down earlier in this game. But, hey, you know, we heard next man up. That guy's pretty big too, Doug.
Ponitz has entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's is a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important. They score here, we got a running clock. I didn't think it'd be this high scoring of a game, the way the defenses were playing that first quarter even.
Right, you know, it was that third quarter. I don't know what exactly Coach Darrell Wilson told his team when they went in there, but they came out on fire. The defense
Good
making
ball.
big plays.
False start, offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, he didn't tell them to do that, that's for sure. But that defense has been making big plays all half. And because the defense has been making big plays like strip sacks and, you know, just stuff like that, that set up the offense and a running game to capitalize, and they've done a great job. And now as we head into this fourth quarter, Storm White has really been heating up. You saw him on the big 30-yard carry a few plays ago, and I wouldn't expect the ball to go here to him again right here.
There's White getting the ball. Goes off left tackle. Gets down to about the 7-yard line.
Doug, you know, I believe in a very old-fashioned phrase. I believe it goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You got that right.
Storm White is clearly not broke. He has been making big carries and big plays this entire game, especially this drive. So if I'm Coach Darrell Wilson, I'm keeping it simple, man. I'm giving that thing right back to Storm.
He's already got 2 touchdowns.
Let's make it 3.
And he's got the ball once again. He's going to get down to about the 10-yard line or 5-yard line. brought down by one of the defensive linemen. Can't see his number. So 3rd and about 3. Ball at the, more than 3, like 4. Ball at the 8-yard line, or 7-yard line. 5:07 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Opponents leading at 27-0 over Thurgood Marshall. This will be the 2nd consecutive win for the Golden Panthers, not only on the regular season, but also against the opponent's the opponent's Cougars. Or, I mean, the Thurgood Cougars.
Play action to Storm that time.
This time the pass is knocked down. Knocked down by John Jones. And it'll be 4th down and 3.
I actually like that play call a lot. You know, Storm's been doing his thing on this drive. So here, you fake it to him. You hope the defense collapses and give your quarterback a chance to hit that guy on the slant. But a great play made by the linebacker, getting his hand up, breaking that pass up. And now we've got a 4th down.
We have a timeout called by the Golden Panthers. That will be their first timeout. They got 2 left.
You're going to call a timeout here. I would imagine that you're talking about or maybe drawing a play up to where you can go for it on 4th down right here.
I wonder if Bennett's hearing me, ask the coach what he said to the Golden Panthers at halftime.
Whatever he said, man, it must have fired them up because they came out of that locker room in a stir.
Yeah,
man.
White has 2 TD runs, one of 13 yards, one of 6 yards. McComb has another run of 1 yard, and that was in the 3rd quarter. And Ray has a 37-yard punt return.
And it looks like they are going to opt to go for it here. And if I'm them, I'm giving Storm White that ball on the outside. We've seen him take a lot of outside handoffs and cut it inside when he sees a hole. He's got great vision. Give him the option to do what he needs to do on this play.
Here's a handoff to White.
Yep, around the outside.
And he's down to about the 1-yard line. He's got the first down. So Storm White is, I'd say he's the player of the game.
Oh, for sure. He's been the driving force this game. And, you know, we talked about how important the running game was going to be for Ponitz, and that's the spark plug right there. Number 3, Storm White, part of Thunder and Lightning. Unfortunately, Thunder, who I called Tim Hart, he went down. So we're only working with Lightning right now, but Lightning's dangerous too, Doug.
Oh, yeah. I wonder see if I can see Vaught over on the sidelines. He might be in a boot, or it's like he's got ice on his leg over on the far side, if that's him.
Got to go back to Storm here. There it is.
And into the end zone for another touchdown. That's the hat trick for him.
You see that 3 on his back? That's his 3rd touchdown of the game. Storm White. Like I said, keep it simple. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give the ball to Storm White. Thurgood hasn't been able to stop him all day. They couldn't stop him on that play. Look at the fans. They love the guy. Storm White, like you said, with the hat trick.
So, 4:01 left. There's the replay brought to you by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Storm White on a 2-yard run. And going for the extra point would be Ronaldo Cardoso. There's a good shot of Storm. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 4:01 to go here in this fourth quarter, we're going to take a break. Be right back. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers. Tonight, after the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota dealers, watch Dayton 24/7 Now news at 10 o'clock on Fox 45 and get connected with Anna and Megan. Maybe I should make it. I should put Megan first. Megan and Adam.
Yeah, Megan and Adam. She likes that. Look, I like that guy right there, Tim Vaught. He's been a big playmaker today. Unfortunately, he's out of his jersey. He's got the ice pack on his shoulder, and he's made some of the biggest plays in the game. I would say he made the biggest play in the game when he had the strip. He literally ripped the football out of the running back's hand. He ran it back about 20 yards and set up a touchdown for the Panthers. I hope he's going to be all right long term, Doug.
Here comes the kickoff. Johnson got it. He's to the 30, 20, 15, 10.
Well, there we go.
Touchdown.
There we go. Thurgood Marshall avoiding the goose egg. They're going to put some points on the board.
That is Donato's touchdown.
From Desmond Johnson, we've seen him make a lot of big plays on defense, and now putting the team on his back in the special teams. He got some good blocks, got to the sidelines, and at that point, it's just a foot race. Turn on them burners.
They said, we are not going to have a running clock tonight. I'm sorry.
Finally, a spark plug for Thurgood Marshall. We've seen some big plays from their defense today, and that's one of their defensive players making a big play on special teams.
So it looks like they're going to go for 2.
Got to at this point. You got nothing to lose.
I still got 3:35 left, and if they could be explosive like that, there's a chance. Of course, anytime there's time on the clock, you got a chance, no matter what.
There's a chance. I don't know how high it is.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
mathematically speaking, there is a chance for them to come back in this game. We're not going to talk about the numbers because it's been about 7 years since I took a math class, but I will say mathematically, it's not 0.
It's been a long time since I took a math class.
How long, Doug?
I ain't going to say.
We're going to say 7 years, like me.
A little longer than that.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay.
So they took a penalty, give the, I guess the receivers a little more room to roam in the end zone.
That is a unique strategy. I don't know if I would have went with it, but,
Timeout, Thurgood.
Timeout called by Thurgood Marshall. 3:35 left here in this fourth quarter, 34-6. As they are going to call a timeout, and I won't tell you how long it's been since I've been in math class. I think it's been like almost 45 years.
35 years? That's not that long.
No, 45.
45? All right,
Yeah.
well.
Here's the schedule for Thurgood Marshall. They got Meadowdale next week, and that's Earl White playing his old team. And then they got Belmont here at Fort Loramie. Then they got Dunbar and at Trotwood Madison. That's not going to be an easy game against Trotwood, but Trotwood's 0-3 right now.
Yeah, Trotwood has a very young team this year. They're led by sophomore quarterback Tim Carpenter. And honestly, Doug, most of that starting lineup is filled with sophomores. Trotwood, they've been huge in years past, and this year they're building. You hear a lot of times in the pros, we're having a rebuilding year. They've got youth, but they're building something special over there at Trotwood.
There's Gaines. He's not going to go anywhere. He's going to be brought down by big number 53 of the... big number 56, and that is Maurice Harris. And with 3:34 left here in this fourth quarter, it is Ponitz 34, Thurgood Marshall 6, a 75-yard kickoff return. That the scoring summary brought to you by Rand Associates. And the 2-point conversion was no good. So, okay, we got a couple of good plays of the game. What do you think so far?
If I've got to lean towards one, it would be the one that I mentioned earlier by Tim Vaught, the one where he just blew up the running play and literally grabbed hold of the ball, ripped it out, and then the big man started rumbling downfield for about 20 yards as we look at Ponitz's schedule, Doug.
Here's the Ponitz schedule. They got Dunbar next week, and then at Trotwood, they take on Jefferson. They won't play Jefferson because Jefferson doesn't have a football team right now. Then they're at Belmont and Meadowdale, so all 3 of the 4 games are here. The only game they play away is at Trotwood.
Well, you know what? I love not having to go on the road. It's always nice to have a shorter drive for your fans, have your guys out at the game. We had a pretty good turnout for this game right here. Looking at the Ponitz Panthers, we talked about 2 things before the game, and that was dominating the line of scrimmage and being physical. They've done a great job of that on both sides of the ball. And when you look over at Thurgood, we talked about them having to establish the run early and play mistake-free football. And unfortunately for the Cougars, that just hasn't happened today. That running game has been a struggle, especially because of the play of the offensive line. And we've had a lot of penalties, a lot of yellow flags flying on the field on Thurgood Marshall's side. They're really going to have to watch this film, get with first-year head coach Adrian Goodwine, and try to right this ship.
Quick kick coming up. White has it, and he's going to go down at the 33-yard line. That kickoff brought to you by Wright & Schulte. So I thought there might be an onside kick, but it was a squibber up the middle.
Yeah, Storm got it. It looked like he was going to try to do something with it, but I'm sure he'll get the ball plenty of times on this possession, so I don't think he's missing out on anything.
3:28 remaining here in this fourth quarter. 34-6. Ponitz leading it. Now, Ponitz has to. They got Methodical next week, so they got that wing tee by Earl White, and that's not easy to pick up on. But I'm sure the coaches will be going to Summit Country Day tomorrow to watch them.
Right, and it helps that they did get to play against Thurgood Marshall this week, because Thurgood Marshall, Coach Goodwine, he learned under Earl White, and they don't run the wing tee. Oh, wow, great play right
going
there.
Down.
They don't run the wing tee, but they run the Shogun offense, which is very similar. Coach Goodwine being a protege of Coach White at Meadowdale. So Ponitz really got a trial run for what they're going to see next week in this game right here against Thurgood.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, Earl White, he was here at Thurgood. He turned that program around. Then he went to Belmont, turned that around. Then the COVID hit. Now he's over at Meadowdale, and he's turning that program around.
Sounds like he's got the magic touch, though.
He does have the magic touch. So, opponents just letting the clock run down.
Yeah, they've got their eyes on that play clock in the end zone as it hits 10.
Thurgood has no timeouts left.
They're just going to go ahead and ice this game down.
And timeout is called. Or no, penalty marker down.
How?
Dead ball, false start, offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And you're up 34-6. Obviously, some coaches don't really want to get on players when they're up by that much, but
here's the Toyota dealer's replay as I think it was that guy at the top of the screen.
Yeah, it may not have been number 50, but you see Coach Nick Saban, Coach Belichick do it all the time. I know this game is way out of hand. You've got it won, but it's plays like that can really cost you if this wasn't 34-6, if this was maybe 34-36.
Here's Ray on the carry. Gets pulled down by Emmanuel Bonner. I'm surprised you even said Saban.
Yeah, I'm from Louisiana, LSU country. We don't like Bama and Nick Saban very much, but you can't deny the man is good at his job. One of the greatest, arguably the greatest college football coach ever. He does his thing. He wins championship almost every other year.
Well, wasn't he at LSU?
He was. He won a championship at LSU. Then he went to Bama, and everybody at LSU started hating him. But they call it a rivalry at LSU. I hesitate to call it a rivalry because it's not much of a rivalry when one side wins almost every matchup. Like Bama does. But
120 remaining here in this fourth quarter. There's a handoff once again to Ray. Nope, this time it's going to Barnes. Javante Barnes gets the ball, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line.
Looks like we got about one more play left in this one, Doug.
3rd and 20. They could take a knee. They could let the clock run down, take a knee. No, it is 4th down. I'm sorry.
Well, Coach Goodwine did tell us, Doug, this game was going to be over at 9:30 because both teams like to run the ball. He was a little late. It's 9:37 right now. With some stoppages, we might run this thing to 9:40, so he was pretty close.
4th and 20 as opponents will boot it away. Good snap, kicks it away. Nice punt.
That's a punt right there.
Ball's going to hit about the 43-yard line and be picked up. Picked up by Emmanuel Bonner, and he is down.
Oh, man, and you hate to see that. Literally 9 seconds left in the game.
He's up. He's walking off the field. 9 seconds left, so one more play left for the Cougars, and the opponent's Golden Panthers are going to win this one. They are going to move to 2 and 3 on the year. Thurgood's going to fall to 0 and 5, but the big thing is opponent's going to be 1 and 0 in the conference
right? And, you know, Bennett talked about it before the game when it comes to these teams. Really, the games that came out of conference, setting up the games in conference. Ponitz learned a lot from their first 3 losses. They won their first game last week, and they said that was a big momentum booster, a big swing. These guys needed to see that they could win a game, and now that they saw that, they came into Thurgood with their heads held high. They played a great, disciplined football game against a pretty good Cougar team, and they're going to go home real happy tonight.
There's Gaines. He had a missed play. Gaines is going to get up to the 45-yard line. So that's it. 34-6 is your final score. The opponents, Golden Panthers, win it. And we'll be back with the trophy presentation after this timeout. You're watching the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Your final score, 34-6. We're going to send it out to Bennett with the trophy presentation to the head coach of the opponent's Golden Panthers, Coach Wilson.
And I'm here with the winning head coach, Daryl Wilson, and Ponitz High School. And your Golden Panthers got a big victory, and so I'm here to present you with this trophy for Thursday Night Lights.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, the boys played really hard, came out in the second half and really played the type of football that we've been working on. So, you know, still a lot of things we need to correct and work on, but we definitely moving in the right direction.
One of your captains, Storm Wilson, an unbelievable night, 3 touchdowns, really led this offense. Yeah. What makes him so special?
Storm is just a special young man in general. He has a very unique will. He wants to be the best. You know, I challenge him every day, choose to be great. And he takes that in the classroom and on the field. So I'm really, really proud of him and all of my boys. They fought hard all night.
So what does it mean to you and the rest of your program to get a win here on Thursday Night Lights?
It's great, you know, for one being, you know, on Thursday Night Lights, the excitement of it, playing against a good opponent, you know, within our conference of Thurgood, you know, but for us, we started, you know, our city league, and this is a great way to start it with a victory, you know, so that we can continue to move forward and just try to get better every day.
Well, Coach, thank you so much, and go enjoy this first city win with your team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Big win for the opponent's Golden Panthers. 34-6 win over the Thurgood Marshall Cougars. And for we want to say goodnight from the Premier Health Thursday Night Lights presented by the Cincinnati Toyota Dealers. Join us next Thursday at Troy's Memorial Stadium when the Sydney Yellow Jackets take on the Troy Trojans on MyTV Dayton. Now stay tuned for Dateline on MyTV Dayton. For Andre Johnson and Bennett Wise, this is Doug Brown saying so long from Welcome Stadium. Your final score once again, Ponitz Tech 34, Thurgood Marshall 6. Good night from Welcome Stadium.